Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about this propagation tent. I'm going to show you inside this $40 tent and why I liked it so much that I even bought a second one. So in here, in this surrounding area where I keep my mother plants and plants that are regularly acclimated to typical growing environments, it's about 65 to 75% humidity in here. But inside here, I can get it to the 80s and 90s% humidity. And it also traps that heat, which encourages plants to grow and develop better. It's also what I'm using to acclimate my tissue culture. These are some tissue culture we've been doing here, and I've been acclimating them to get eventually towards that 65% humidity of this surrounding air. But you slowly have to bring these plants from 100% humidity down kind of into the 90s, into the 80s, and eventually to this growing medium. So that's what I'm using this for. But I'm also using it as a propagation tent to root things like this I'm Becky. I almost said Philodendron Jose Bono, but this is I'm Becky. It's kind of a drama-filled plant. It has some contention whether or not this is actually Jose Bono, but it does look a bit different, and I'm actually rooting plants like this inside that chamber. And here's some of the results I'm getting from this propagation tent. It keeps it around 90% humidity and 85 degrees Fahrenheit, and look at those roots. Again, I'm rooting in our 3-to-1 mix that we make here and you can make at home. 3 parts coconut husk, 2 parts perlite, and 1 part coconut coir. Or you can substitute that for peat moss, or you can substitute that for potting mix, I guess, if you have to. And then once I get a bit more roots than this, I'll add in a worm castings or a slow release fertilizer. So this is going down inside of this tent, and I'm super happy with it. But let's go inside. So this is where we're keeping all of our acclimations for tissue culture. There's a Paraiso Verde in the stratum and perlite mix we've gone over. And this guy has been in there about a month. But getting used to the ambient humidity. There's some musas and some ghosts, some albos. I don't like to keep Alba Monstera in here actually because it tends to rot. Monstera in general doesn't like super high humidity. So this is mostly like a philodendron tent, some syngoniums, but it's almost too much humidity for syngoniums. And I've got some tricolor, red spot tricolor there, philodendron mamai, or however you say that. Some unvariegated billet, some white knight. Hoping to not lose this one, but that's kind of the process of tissue culture. You do lose some to damping off. And of course, these are Thai Constellation. Here is a Musa variegata, a variegated banana leaf. And this is in that mix of stratum and perlite. We've talked about that before, but it's really loving the extra amount of humidity. These plants do best in a higher amount of humidity, so it's loving the tent. And hopefully you can see these roots here. Plant is very happy. Maybe in the future I will do a bit of a video and explanation on tissue culture. I'm just not sure how much interest there is there. So as I said, I got this thing off Amazon. I think I paid between like $35 and $42. It kind of swings in those price ranges. I don't know if I'd suggest it to be out in the backyard or in the full sun. It might degrade. This is kind of a thin, like vinyl-y plastic. I do have it up on these risers. These are about 3 to 4 foot benches, and then I keep a drainage tray under it so I can capture my runoff and then just keep it into a bucket. But if this were on the ground or on a flat surface, it might be kind of tough on the back to take care of the plants. But overall, I wish it just had more zippers on it. So this one end has a zipper, but the other end does not have a zipper. Then it kind of has these like heat vents on the opposite side. I was thinking about putting in like a tarp zipper here and on the other side, but the cool thing about it is it's really movable and light. So when we water, we can kind of just lift it up and actually lift it and move it. The point of this thing is just to trap humidity, and it does exactly that. For $40, it's tough to ask for too much more from this, but because they sit inside our 3x6 trays, this is 3 foot by 3 foot, and I think 3 foot high to the pitch of this roof. I did buy a second one of them. It comes with the instruction booklet. Of course, this is helpful in putting it together, but it's really just a tent with these kind of corner pieces, the metal pieces that go up to these plastic parts, and the plastic parts are kind of the joints. It even comes with a few plant tags. So overall, I'm very impressed with it. It does exactly what I needed it to do, and I'm gonna put the second one over here just next to it, because historically I've just used these humidity domes. So try out this grow tent if you want a simple way to propagate your plants and take care of your baby plants. If you guys did enjoy the video, please like the video down below. It does help us out so much. And if you want to come back every Saturday for another video about houseplants, rare plants, growing conditions, things like that, click subscribe, and we'll see you next Saturday. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good day.